Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 6 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 6 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the lesson number 3. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is compare numbers written in scientific notation. Let's just start with an example. Which sign makes the statement true? 3 times 10 exponent 5 and 3.0 times 10 exponent 5. So both numbers are in the correct scientific notation, so we can compare them. Just look at the exponents of the 10 first, right? They both have the same exponents 5 and 5. So when their exponents parts are exactly equal, we have to look for the coefficient parts. This is the coefficient 3 and 3 and they both are also same. So that means they both are exactly equal. Let's just start with the test question. Which sign makes the statement true? 3 times 10 exponent 5 and 3 times 10 exponent 5. So that's the one we just did. We have to compare the exponents of the 10 first, right? Like they both have the same exponents 5 and now we have to coefficients. The coefficients are also same, so they both are exactly equal. Which sign makes the statement true? The first thing is we need to look at the exponents of the 10. Here you have the exponent 5 and here you have the exponent 4, right? So 5 is greater than 4. So that means the one that has the greater exponent is the greater than the other one. So 2.7 times 10 exponent 5 is greater than 2.7 times 10 exponent 4. Got it? Greater it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which sign makes the statement true? 8.2 times 10 exponent 2 and 7.2 times 10 exponent 2. So the first thing is they both have exactly the same exponents. Look at their coefficients. 8.2 is greater than 7.2. So option number 1 is the correct option. 8.2 times 10 exponent 2 is greater than 7.2 times 10 exponent 2. Which sign makes the statement true? 1.7 times 10 exponent 1 and 7.1 times 10 exponent 2. So just look at the coefficient. 10 times exponent 2 is greater than 10 times exponent 1. So 1.7 times 10 exponent 1 is less than 7.1 times 10. If the coefficient, like if the exponent is greater, you don't have to look at the coefficient. Which sign makes the statement true? 8.10 exponent 2 and 8.10 exponent 3. So which is the correct option? That is 8.10 exponent 2 is less than 8 times 10 exponent 3. Very good. Which sign makes the statement true? 8.7 times 10 exponent 3 and 8.7 times 10 exponent 1. That is 8.7 times 10 exponent 3 is greater than 8.7 times 10 exponent 1. Which sign makes the statement true? 6 times 10 exponent 1. You need to compare it to 7.6 times 10 exponent 1. So both of them have the same coefficient, right? Now, so both of them have the same exponent. Now look at their coefficients. So 6 is less than 7.6, so less it is. 'Which sign makes the statement true? 7.2 times 10 exponent 3. You need to compare it to 2.7 times 10 exponent 3. 7.2 times 10 exponent 3 is greater than 2.7 times 10 exponent 3. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is prime or composite. Which number is prime? The factors. Prime numbers are the one that have only two factors, 1 and the number itself, right? And the numbers that have more than two factors is not prime. So 3 is the prime number because 3 has only two factors, 1 and 3. Let's just start with the test questions. Which number is prime? You are given 4 of the numbers. So which is a prime number? That is 3 because the rest of the numbers are not the prime numbers, they are the composite number. Select all the numbers that are prime. 7 and 5. Only 7 and 5 are the prime numbers. Which number is prime? 18, 15, 16, and 17. 17 is the prime number. The rest of the three numbers are the composite number. 17 is the prime number. Select all the numbers that are prime. So, which of the numbers are prime? That is 13, 7, and 2. They all are the prime numbers. Option number 3 is the correct option. Which number is prime? 5 is the only prime number here, right? The rest of the numbers are composite. Very good. Select all the numbers that are prime. 2, 9, 17, and 3, they all are the prime numbers. Which number is prime? 3 is the only prime number. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself today. Let me on to next lesson. The next lesson is identify factors. Lesson. Which number which numbers are factors of 11? Factors means all the numbers that can divide 11 evenly. So the only number that can divide 11 evenly is 11. Why? Because 11 is an even number. So two factors. Let's just start with the test questions. Which numbers are factors of 11? The only factors of 11 are 11. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which number is a factor of 10? Factor means the numbers that can evenly divide 10. So the only number that can divide 10 is 2 times 10 is, sorry, 2 times 5 is 10. 20, like the numbers when you multiply makes 10, that is 2, because 2 times 5 is 10. You don't have any other. 8 times what number is 10? 8 times no number is 10. Same way, 4 times what number is 10? 4 times no number is 10. 20 times any number, that factor that can 2. Got it? The correct option is 2. Besides 16 and 1, which is the one factor of 16? So, which is the correct option? Which numbers can evenly divide 16? But they all can divide evenly 16. 4 and 8 are also beside 16 and 1. That's why 4 and 8 is the one. Got it? Beside 20 and 1. So you don't have to look at the factor that has 1. So this you cannot, because you're beside 20 and 1. So 4 cannot. mm, 4 and 10, they both can divide 20. And 5 and 10 also divide. What's wrong with the options? This week, 5 and 20 can divide, and 10 and 4 can divide. So let's see which is the correct option. 10 and 4. Which numbers are the factors of 17? Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 1 times 17 because 17 is a prime number. Which number is a factor of 9? The only factor that the only number that is factor of 9 is 3. Option number 4 is the correct option. Which numbers are factor of 14? The only factors of 14 are option number 3. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is prime factorization. What is the prime factorization of 9? So how do we find the prime factorization? We need to divide 9 by the smallest prime number. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. And 3 divided by 3, we need to divide again the prime number until the answer is 1. So these are the true prime numbers. They are 3 times 3. Let's just start with the test questions. What is the prime factorization of 9? The prime factorization of 9 is 3 times 3. What is the prime factorization of 15? Divide 15 by the smallest prime number. So let's just divide it by 3 because 3 is the smallest prime number that can divide 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now divide this number again by the smallest prime number, that is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So these are the prime factors. They are 3 times 5. The correct option is option number 1, 3 times 5. What is the prime factorization of 20? Let's just divide 20 by the smallest prime number. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Now divide 10 by the smallest prime number, that is again 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now 5 divided by the smallest number is 5, so 1 it is. So the factors are 2 times 2 times 5. So which is the correct option? That is 2 times 2 times 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the prime factorization of 4? The prime factorization of 4 is 2 times 2. What is the prime factorization of 6? That is 2 times 3. Option number 4 is the correct option. What is the prime factorization of 18? 2 times 3 times 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the prime factorization of 16? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 6 math. Chapter we were working on is number theory. The lessons we have covered today are compare numbers notation, exit numbers, identify factors. So please make sure before the next session questions for the lessons we just did that until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can click on the live chat button. Tutors are available to help you. Either you write them down on the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please write down the questions in the chat box and answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Okay, then that's all